Welcome back.
Hey yo! Are we doing AOs? I like the whistle.
We need an intro.
Pathetic. So bad.
It needs to be like more. Wait, same thing.
This has not been the best of starts.
It's a new thing.
It's a new thing. We're
It's a
trying
new
it
thing.
out. We're trying out new things.
Don't second guess yourself.
I'm not.
This week we are changing it up a bit. Mm-hmm. The numbers came in. We listened. The people spoke and we listened.
Did they?
We are now. What are we doing?
We're just going to try something different because honestly, let's just mix things up. We just want to do this. And I'm from Australia.
I'm from Canada.
So what we're going to do is we're going to pit the best of the best against each other. And we're going to see once and for all.
That's right.
What country's better.
A Thunderdome style free-for-all to the death.
Thunderdome, Mad Max reference.
What are the categories?
Classic.
So this is a new thing for us. Mm-hmm.
It's not that. It's really, we talk shit all the time.
We're changing the format a little bit.
Not really. We're just talking shit with just a little bit of structure. Okay. That's all it is. We're still going to talk mainly shit.
Let's talk about the structure. What can people expect today?
We've got a couple of different categories, right? Uh-huh. So we've got animals. I pick the best. We won't say yet. Animals. I pick a champion of Australia. You pick a champion of Canada. Mm-hmm. They will fight to the death.
Yep.
We'll struggle. We'll mix it up a bit next. We'll go prime ministers. This obviously doesn't have to be a fight to the death. If you want to go there, I'm happy with it. Or this could just be like who was the best at their job. Best prime minister. Who has the best. Then we're going to do celebrity. Can be musician, actor, whatever you choose. Pick your best against my best. And then we'll see. Then we'll pick sport, same thing. And then at the end, we'll just do a summary and we'll just see what country's better and we'll debate it. That's it.
Fair enough.
Pretty easy, pretty simple.
Simple.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, well, so be it. All right.
Let's name our champions.
Round one.
Fighter, ready.
Round one.
Well,
you go first, man.
Okay, well, I am nominating my champion. Animal.
Round one, animal.
The saltwater crocodile.
Yeah?
That is who I am nominating. An absolute prehistoric beast.
Yeah.
And killing things for millennia. That's my champion.
How big did they get? We just measured this out in your kitchen.
So we did measure this out because you didn't believe that this was the size a crocodile could get. But they get up to 20 feet. The longest ever was 20-something feet long.
That's insane.
It's a large animal.
Like you said, it's larger than you think.
Much larger than you think. And like they are very strong swimmers.
Fast.
Amazing jaw pressure.
Yeah.
Fast, even on land, quite fast. Little waddlers.
Yeah.
Look, beast. We've all seen Lake Placid. If you haven't, go out and see it. It's a documentary. It's not. It's fake.
It's a horror movie, right?
It's Jaws. It's Jaws with the crocodile.
Sure.
But man, it's a fucking beast.
Okay.
Who you got? Who's your champ?
Out of 10. Well, hold up.
Okay.
Out of 10.
We'll do some rankings. Yeah.
Yeah. Give it a like what?
Okay.
Should we have categories? So like speed, strength, and health.
Can we go guile? Like cunning, smarts, intelligence. Because obviously,
so speed, strength,
guile.
Intelligence.
No, can we say the word guile?
Where the fuck does that come from?
Guile?
Yeah.
Like guile, like witty, smart. Like,
yeah, that's not a thing we say here.
Yeah, but it's like
we'll get to that later. But yeah, we don't say
so
guile.
We'll go.
But we can call it guile.
Australians better vocabulary. We'll just tick that one up. So okay, speed, cunning, intelligence. Sure. Speed, strength, intelligence.
You're just more like you just make up words for things.
Guile is a real word, man. I promise you.
Yeah. Well.
Anyway, so if we're going speed on the crocodile, we'll go 5 stars. Let's not go crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, not the quick in water, quick on land. Okay, quicker than you think.
In sprints,
not
they can do
quick.
Sprints.
Straight line, yeah,
faster,
absolutely.
I think I heard faster than a horse. In very
water?
short. No, on land.
Oh,
I don't know if it's saltwater, just normal crocodiles.
I'm going to say a 3 out of 5 stars for speed.
Okay.
Better than 2.5. Average is 2.
Yeah.
Better than average, but
mobilized.
Not exceptional.
Yeah, they're mobilized.
Then I would say strength is where I'm saying 5 stars. I'm saying 5 stars for strength. That the
if
jaw
they
pressure.
get you're fucked.
If they get up, That's
Just a
you're fucked.
single, yeah.
They can just get your Achilles heel, literally,
Yeah,
or a big toe.
it
They're
just
dragging
takes-
you in.
Yeah.
You're gone. And then intelligence, maybe let's just go with
That's
2.
so scary.
Yeah, dude.
It
Let's go
is
with 2
scary.
though, because they're pretty
Intelligence?
dumb. They obviously can be domesticated. Well, not domesticated, but like they're captured. They perform in shows. So
What
How
do they
good- how-
perform? Oh, yeah.
Australia Zoo, Steve Irwin, Australian legend.
Yeah,
my God, I need to change my celebrity.
No, I know Steve Irwin. You can change your celebrity.
Well, he's a legend. It's a default
Legally-
win, so I would never do it.
Okay.
But yeah, so and then
That's up for debate. But
So
yeah, okay.
name your champ. Name your champ. That's what I've laid out.
Okay,
the line.
well, in Canada's corner, the polar bear. That's mine. The largest on land, like carnivore, I think. No, not compared to the saltwater.
I don't know, dude. Well,
No,
on land,
like mammalian, maybe.
it's
like,
a big boy. Polar
It's-
bears are big. It's like the biggest bear, right?
It's the biggest mammal carnivore.
Oh, does
Yeah,
plural.
like mammalian carnivore, I think. Anyway,
It's a
just
big
like,
dude.
It's a massive bear. I don't know, like how much. Let's just find out how much does a polar bear weigh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're the biggest bear, right? Like they
are the biggest
big
bear, hands
boys.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're purely carnivorous. Unlike every other bear in the world is somewhat
like
omnivorous.
omnivore, yeah.
Like here in the Pacific Northwest, it tends to be seasonal. So during the salmon run, yes, the bears eat meat. But they'll take what they can get. So
What do bears eat? Like
berries,
vegetables? Oh, okay, yeah.
I think mushrooms, like fungi, maybe grasses, bark. Like they're just kind of they eat what they can get.
Sick. All right.
But if there isn't any food,
But not a polar bear.
well, okay, hold up. If there isn't any food for the Pacific Northwest bears, then they could technically, hunt humans.
Yeah.
But food's abundant here, so they typically eat trash, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
polar bears are purely carnivorous. They eat
need
seals,
meat.
Yeah, like any
Arctic
meat.
foxes.
Sure, yeah,
small
foxes,
mammals.
muskox. Previously deceased, so they could be scavengers.
Like okay, so what are the
I'm just looking up their weight here.
okay.
Okay, how heavy are polar bears? A male, 450 kilos.
That's heavy.
That's
Nearly
like
half a ton.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's heavy.
That's
all
heavy.
right. Well, let's get the star rating, like strength. What do you think for strength?
Oh, I just wanted to say that before we start rating
Oh,
it.
okay, yeah.
They've
It's all right, man.
okay, yeah.
Be water.
I am water. I'm just reacting. You're hilarious, man. Okay. So there have been stories of explorers when they were trying to find the what was it? The Northern Passage.
Okay.
Right. So early on in Canada's colonization, they were looking for a passageway through the Arctic for trade routes.
Oh yeah, like up to Alaska or something. Was that too high?
well,
or not high enough?
The problem is once you get high enough, you get these ice sheets, right? So you basically have to design ships that have like a giant
Like an icebreaker.
piercing in icebreaker
Yeah,
ship. Yeah. But before icebreakers, they had wooden boats. So there is a story of one of these boats on the when they were scouting. Getting locked in by the ice, so it froze overnight. Something happened; they got trapped, and the sailors were down on land, and I think they were having a cigarette in the story I heard. And there was a break in the ice, and across the ice was a polar bear, and so their ship was trapped, and they're trying to travel to get help. Anyway, they're on this little ice piece outside of the ship. The polar bear swims across the ocean. It's like it's like the coldest water can get.
Right.
Just absolutely brutal. This polar bear swims across, grabs one of the sailors, drags it
Oh my God.
back into the ocean. There's nothing they could do about it.
Yeah, literally.
It's yeah. Like if a polar bear sees you, it'll hunt you down.
Yeah, you're done.
Yeah. So anyway,
That's
what's
scary.
the first one? Speed.
Sure, speed. What are we rating it for speed? More mobile
You know what?
than a croc, I'd say.
I'm gonna rate it against a human, right?
Okay.
I'd say more mobile than a crocodile, so maybe I give it a 4.
4, okay, yeah, not bad.
Because like its top speed is pretty damn fast, and they are mobile. I don't know about their stamina though.
Sure.
I feel like they have better stamina than a crocodile.
And this is going to be a unique battle because both can fight and land and sea, which is interesting.
It is.
I feel like a lot of I only just discovered that like the crocodile doesn't necessarily have an advantage. Probably a slight advantage, but not a. If you picked a grizzly, for instance, the water becomes a massive advantage. Not so much now. Definitely. That's important. You got to think about these things.
I do. Strength. I'd give it a 5.
See, I don't think you can have the same strength. I don't.
Yes, I can.
As a crocodile.
Yes.
No.
Like you're right. Pound for pound, the jaw.
Jaw strength.
But I mean, against a human, there's no competition.
Well,
like
sure.
A polar bear.
Well, there is. It's a crocodile. Crocodile's a competition.
No, but a polar bear is like, okay, so 4.
I'd accept 4.
Like 4.
One of the things I did look up was bite strength of both of these animals. Something I just looked up after we'd already chose our champs.
What did you see?
So the polar bear has a PSI of like bite pressure of 1,200 PSI, which is good. Like apparently biting into a steak is like 150 PSI as a reference. 150 PSI is like a human biting into a steak. Okay. So a polar bear bite pressure is 1,200. A crocodile bite pressure, 3,700.
Yeah. So
it's nearly it's triple the bite pressure of a polar bear.
Okay.
So strength is it's again once a croc gets a hold of you.
Okay.
It's nearly game over.
Same with a polar bear. I'm just saying against a human, but the polar bear is more dangerous against a human though.
But this is definitely a crocodile versus a polar bear fighting, so we have to keep that in mind. They are fighting to the death. It can be on like the
polar bear is big.
Big, yeah.
So there's a lot to grab onto.
Yeah, definitely.
They are very hyper aggressive.
Way more mobile than I think a polar bear could get around the back and maybe have a couple tail bites.
Yep. I'd say so.
I think I would love to. This is not going to probably be telling. I would love to look up like total deaths amongst each, but polar bears they live in a way less dense populated area, so the numbers are not going to be favorable. Do you know what I mean? But like maybe just bears as a total.
Polar bear.
Like just bears. I don't know.
No, it has to be polar bear.
Well, then the numbers are not going to be in your favor. I remember yearly people dying of crocodiles in Australia.
Well, Australia definitely kills more people.
But let's see. I would love to see total number of polar bear deaths.
I just need a number. They have a list. This goes back to the 1780s. Yeah. Okay, well, we got to keep this show rolling here, man.
Okay, what are your thoughts? Okay, completely unbiased, that we have both laid out the facts.
I think the polar bear.
Okay, yeah. So just give me like 3 dot points. Why is the polar bear the one that's going to win this?
The crocodile, start with the crocodile, has low stamina. So crocodiles are incredibly fast and powerful killer. But it has a very short window of time to succeed. So if the crocodile gets the first bite on the polar bear, maybe, I could see the croc winning because that thing's an absolute beast, like way technically bigger than the polar bear. The polar bear, on the other hand, is cunning. It's fast and mobile, and it is strong. I know we rated it less, but it's still incredibly strong.
In the scheme of things, still quite strong.
Can tear that croc up.
I would like to propose something to you, and I have not looked this up, and I do not know, but I understand both of these animals have to breathe. I would like to know, because if a croc bites you, its instincts to drown you first.
Yes.
So I would like you to look up. How about who can breathe underwater longer? Because they're both animals, right? Like they don't have gills. They both have to breathe. Who can hold their breath longer?
What?
Because honestly, think about it. A crocodile, I think, eventually would get a hold of it. Sure. If it can take it underwater,
2 minutes.
2 minutes for a crocodile?
No, for a polar bear.
What's the crocodile?
Like hours, man.
Well, no, they do breathe through their nose, though.
I thought you were looking it up.
Well, I don't have my phone's recording. I do not have a phone on.
Right.
I keep forgetting where it is.
Right.
Right. What's a croc though?
Saltwater crocodile. Lung capacity.
It's got to be more than a couple minutes, surely.
Hours.
Yeah.
Okay. So
all right. I don't know.
We got to move on to the next category.
Okay. I'm putting forward crocodile.
No, I'm putting polar bear.
Scissors, paper, rock.
Polar bear.
One for one. Boom. Crocodile wins. 1 to crocodile, 1 to Australia.
Guess I'll go fuck myself.
Well, that's the only fair way to do a stalemate if we disagree. Let's move on.
All right, moving on. Prime ministers.
You go first for this bad boy.
Stephen Harper, Conservative leader of Canada.
Decade?
He was.
Or term served? Roughly.
Early 2000s.
Okay.
Yeah, during my time in high school.
Right, okay.
I think he was in for 2 terms.
And he is your...
I could be wrong.
You're nominating a Conservative leader as the best of all time?
That wasn't a best of.
Oh.
He was...
Oh.
He was sort of a villain.
Oh,
to my generation, yeah.
Oh.
Well, he sold out a lot of Canada's public sphere to giant corporate interests. There's some good things to be said. Like, I don't think everything he did was terrible, but he definitely helped out a lot of Albertan workers. I'm not going to get into the whole Canada geopolitics thing because, Alberta. Think about Canada this way. It's BC and Alberta.
Yeah.
On the west side.
Yeah.
So BC is liberal, Alberta's conservative.
Yeah.
Then on eastern Canada, the 2 big ones are Ontario and Quebec.
Yeah.
But they're a confederation because Quebec obviously has French roots,
right.
Ontario English roots.
Right.
So there's this weird. It's like 2 governments that have been fused together, and he did a lot. So a lot of the industry in Canada comes from Alberta. Stephen Harper, signed his name on a bunch of shit and basically helped out a bunch of people. Business was booming. I know my dad moved out there, not because of Stephen Harper, but we
got some work.
Yeah, our family was doing okay.
Man of the people.
Yeah.
So he's like a working class guy. Created jobs.
No. My point. Like, he sold out a lot of Canada. Like, he did help out with the oil industry. I'm butchering this. Like, if anyone hears this and they're like, no, you mother, like, you dumb fuck. Like,
that's who
guys,
you're putting up.
I don't care.
That's okay.
Care. This is a list.
It is a list.
You're listening to a list. So anyway,
okay, yeah.
So, but he did sign off on some things such as Bill C-51, which expanded Canada's surveillance powers on its own people. So
more intrusive.
Kind of like what
you're not selling it exactly.
No, he's not. I'm neutral about him. He's a complex character.
Okay.
Like, I think he's a very smart man, but he was a bit of a villain for people who are trying to,
less inclined.
We need to get off of fossil fuels.
Right. And he was very fossil fuels.
Yeah, he was pro-industry.
Yeah,
and that definitely has its pros. So
it does. Like, half the world needs that. You know what I mean? Whatever. It is what it is.
Canada's complex.
I'm going to talk about my boy Bob Hawke.
Liberal?
I actually don't know. No idea. It's too blurred in Australia. It's literally too blurred between Liberal and Labor.
No, it's not.
Well, it is to me, mate. It is to me. The differences are marginal and fractional, and I don't care much for it.
Okay.
But Bobby Hawke is...
No, he's Labour Party, dude.
I didn't say Liberal or Labor.
No, but I said, anyway...
I didn't give an answer.
Labour's where it's at. Shout out to the Australian Labor Party.
Okay, so he's Labor then?
Yeah.
Anyway, he's great. He really transcended being... He was more famous after being a Prime Minister, I would say, than being a Prime Minister, but he was still a great Prime Minister. He introduced our Medicare, which is still in place.
Right.
Our universal free healthcare. He put that in... Well, it was put in place earlier, and then... It was taken away by the political party, and then he brought it back. Was like, no, that's coming back. Right. And then since then has been in place. Free healthcare. He also put in a very the Sex Discrimination Act in the workplace.
Okay.
So very pro woman, but he was and also our national anthem, our current Advanced Australia Fair. He put into place. So really? Has a very fingerprint kind of on a lot of important things.
It's a lot of what modern Australia is.
Really it is, eh? But also he's an absolute pisshead and he's a massive cricket fan, and he's like famous in his retirement because, like, you know, they all get a pension,
Right?
Like, they don't work afterwards. He has his own beer. He passed away sadly recently, but he has his own beer brand,
Right?
Like Bob Hawke Lager, with his head on it,
Yeah.
like Bob Hawke Lager, and his famous thing, his famous trait was, like, you know, like what a sporting event's like, kind of like there's just cameras, and then there's just Bob Hawke in his box, and then it'll just go, oh, Bob Hawke in his box, and they'll go in, they'll put him on the big screen, and then he'll like see himself up on the big screen, and he'll, whatever pint, he always has pints of his Bob Hawke Lager, he'll just like stand up and he'll just absolutely chug this pint. And he's like one of the best scullers of all time. Just Google Bob Hawke sculling.
That's
There's like
amazing.
50 of them. And like that's just what he's known for. And if he's just hanging around at the bar and one guy's like, hey, scull it, Bob Hawke will scull it.
This is, Bob Hawke is, to me, what the Labour Party is in Australia. Like, just he's a man of the people.
Just,
you know,
really,
just like,
he's a man's man.
Yeah.
Fucking
legend.
He's a really good guy, man.
Yeah.
And he's pretty well revered within Australia as well, on both sides.
The Labour Party, I know they get blurred together a lot down there, but a lot of that has to do with the Murdoch media, because I'm sure you know, but most of your media is owned by a monopoly. Rupert Murdoch, so...
Yep. Old Murdoch.
Well, okay, so we have to pit these people off. Obviously, Bob Hawke is, like, the superior politician. I just thought Stephen Harper kind of... He led Canada through a lot of industrialization.
Sure. I'm going to say, this is what I think. Both were, I guess, did what they had to do during their time and were good leaders for what they were. But I think... from what I've heard of Stephen Harper, is not positive things. So I feel like he's maybe not left as good a legacy as someone like Bob Hawke, who really transcended his prime minister and kind of became more afterwards. But like, what's Harper doing now? You know what I mean? Bob Hawke was active in the community, in everything.
I think Stephen Harper's doing advocacy work for the Conservative Party. I saw
I'm just
him
going
in
to
an
say,
interview a couple years ago.
I think this is a walk-in
I think
win
it's
for
Bob
Bob
Hawke. Yeah,
I
think we both
Bob
agree on
Hawke.
that. That's fine. No hard feelings.
Well, but this is where
moving
it's
on.
going to even up here.
Yeah, hopefully.
So I get celebrity.
Yeah, celebrity.
I guess I'll go first.
Class 3. Okay.
Now, I'm not going to say what yours is. I won't spoil it.
Yeah, I didn't spoil yours.
No.
Just talk about yours. Yeah. Okay.
No, but I just want to prelim it with something saying I love your celebrity.
I love
and this
your
is hard
celebrity.
to do, but
okay.
I'm just going to lay down the law. Okay, so and this is harder than people think because a lot of people don't realize how many Australian celebrities were like not born in Australia. Like
really?
a lot, like Keith Urban.
Oh.
Kiwi. Russell Crowe. Kiwi.
Oh, really?
Like Mel Gibson. I know, obviously.
Mel Gibson?
Yeah, Mel Gibson moved to Australia when he was like 15.
Oh, I didn't.
Went through schooling in Australia.
I did not know that.
Yeah, dude. No, he has
that
an
makes
American
sense.
accent.
I was like, yeah, but he does this weird like Aussie twang thing.
Yeah, but so essentially what that is him just picking up a little bit of Australian on his American accent.
I understand, but I didn't know that about him, so it all makes sense now.
So him in like Mad Max is him doing an Australian accent.
Right.
Like he's putting it.
He's putting it on. Yeah.
He moved when I was like 15. I'm just saying there's more. Kidman, I think, is Heath Ledger's from Perth. Hugh Jackman's from Perth. So like it's harder than you think. There's a lot of celebrities out there that are Kiwi. We take them. We steal them.
Hemsworth.
No, he's a Victoria boy.
Victoria.
Yeah. I don't know why I know that, but I know where a lot of these people are from.
Cool.
But yeah, my guy's Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
He is... Oh, he's one of the nicest guys.
He's
Never
a
met
good
him.
guy.
He's a good guy. He's just like everyone's dad, I feel. I'm just going to... Obviously, everyone knows who he is, but he's an Emmy Award winner. He's won an Emmy. That's like, nothing to scoff at.
Everybody knows who Hugh Jackman is.
Golden Globe winner.
Yeah.
Grammy. I don't know if many people know he's a Grammy winner.
Yeah, was that for The Greatest Showman?
You're right.
Yeah.
And a Tony winner.
Yeah.
He's
Singer.
He's an Academy Award away from
writer,
being a triple champ.
Actor. He's a triple threat.
He's a triple threat. He's a host. Like, is everything, mate.
Yeah.
And he's the best
He's
husband.
a man's man. Yeah.
Oh, he's just, he He's everything I hope to be in
he's
my
a weapon,
mid-40s.
man. That guy's a unit.
And he's ripped, yeah, dude.
That guy's a unit.
He's a unit. Oh, and he is Wolverine. Like
he is Wolverine.
He's
the
Wolverine.
face. I don't think you could have picked a better Wolverine.
No way, dude. He's
No.
too tall for Wolverine, but that's a different show. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. Wolverine's short, but
Whatever.
he's just everything, man. He's really Les Mis. His voice,
Yeah.
beautiful,
Beautiful
like an
voice.
angel.
Yeah.
He can do that.
Incredibly
he can do
positive
serious.
and supportive.
Absolutely.
Have you ever heard him talk on podcasts? Like I listen to him
I've heard
on
him
the.
talk every day. I love him. I've heard him talk before.
Did you hear him on the Tim Ferriss podcast? Shout out to Tim Ferriss. Yeah, he talks about his process of writing and becoming an actor and sort of the guidelines. You should listen to it since you're doing writing. You know, it's like he basically gave himself a 5-year time frame. He's like, if I can't get this done in 5 years, I have to treat this like a full-time job. And if I can't get this done in 5 years, then I got to pick something else.
Right.
He gave himself a rule. Yeah. Anyway, stand-up guy, super inspiring. I love Hugh Jackman.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. But
their walk's a champion.
well, we can debate it.
We can debate it. Go.
But Canada's home to a few celebrities. We got
Let's
Celine
mention
Dion.
some. Yeah.
We got I know how to talk.
Mike Myers. Oh, I just want to throw
Mike
some
Myers.
out.
Oh, you mean Austin Powers?
Mike Myers is the name. His name
Yeah.
is Mike Myers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Justin Bieber.
Well, okay, I thought we were trying to make pros for great people from Canada.
Well, Justin Bieber is a
Mike Myers. Well, then if
Celebrity.
you throw in Justin Bieber, then we got to do Pam Anderson.
Pam.
There's some
Pam
absolute stars.
Paman. But my choice is Jim Carrey. I mean,
But what else needs to be said?
what do you even say about the guy? He might be the most talented comedian I've ever seen in my entire life.
He might be, and it might have
true
just been
talent.
where we grew up, where the time we grew up in. But
I mean,
he is
yeah, he's
so
definitely-
iconic in my life.
of the times. Yeah, like he
That's
was
okay.
my childhood in a lot of ways. Like
Oh, yeah.
Jim Carrey, some of my earliest memories of laughing, probably
Yep.
of watching Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen him do impersonations in the early days in the 90s? Maybe
Probably
late
briefly
80s?
on YouTube, but
Yeah.
not for a long time.
I got to show you one. He does Clint Eastwood.
Oh, yeah.
And he goes, all right, next impression, Clint Eastwood. And then he just starts his face, he starts to move his muscles like independently of one another.
Yeah, he's got
And
great
then
facial control.
yeah. And then he like massages. I could only describe it as like his face like kind of massages and then like becomes the shape
It just like
of
molds
Clint
into-
Eastwood. Yeah. And then he like it molds into Clint Eastwood and he like does the whole like grimace and like
Just
scowl.
like a chameleon, hey?
Like,
He's
what
so
the
good.
Fuck, man. I mean, and
He's a
maybe
little
one
weird
of the
now.
greatest. I like him now.
I
man.
like him now, but he's a little weird. He's done a lot of psychedelics. I'm just
I
throwing
mean,
it out there.
I think he made a point. He's like, "What do you do when you achieved everything beyond your wildest dreams?" Like,
Yeah.
he is the definition, I think, of a self-actualized human being. Like he's someone who knows who he is so intimately and has control and confidence in himself. And I like, how many people can you say are really share Jim Carrey's level of commitment, achievement?
Yeah, I mean, when I think of him, and I don't know if it's in the same category. I feel like someone like Neil Patrick Harris, just like a showman. Like
He is a showman.
multifaceted. He's probably not like up there with Jim Carrey. I know that, but like
He's not.
He's not. But I don't know, man. There's Mike Myers. I'm trying to think of like really like multifaceted, iconic, and he's might just be up there alone. I don't know.
I'm sure there are others. Like
I'm sure there are, but
when it comes to
and that's going to
comedy,
be generation by generation.
For
What
sure.
we think is probably not the same for what
for
others
sure.
think.
And Jim Carrey like takes a very specific area. It's like he's more movies.
He's
to
not
me.
for everyone. Is either like the whole.
No, I mean it's run. I mean he had maybe one of the he had maybe one of the best scenes I've ever seen in any comedy movie when he climbs out of a rhinoceros's asshole
That is stunning, man.
in front of tourists.
Yeah, I actually like
Golden.
the liar scene where he like can't say the word and he's
lie.
trying to say it. He's like, and he's like he's just great physical comedy, like facial, like everything, dude.
So good. Okay, so
I guess
Jim Carrey versus Hugh Jackman. Who wins?
It's
I'm gonna say Jim Carrey, man.
I'm going to say Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is nothing against Hugh Jackman.
It's no shame in that, man.
Yeah.
There's no shame. They're both
right.
great guys.
Good guys. Number 4, sports.
You go first.
Okay, my Canadian sport is ice hockey.
Ice hockey. Okay, you going with ice hockey?
I mean, I don't follow a lot of professional hockey, but I have played a lot on. I used to live next to a slough, which is like a shallow lake.
Slough? Oh,
yeah, it's a shallow lake.
It's a new word I've never heard.
Yeah, so where I grew up, I'll show you a map sometime, but it's called. There's an area right by my house called Land of 1,000 Lakes. And it's exactly what it's found. They're more ponds than lakes, but it's like a wetland, and it's weird. It's like the land is pockmarked. And every few feet is like a beaver dam.
Why do you keep looking at the camera?
I'm just seeing what
The
things
people.
Yeah,
Talking to the people.
Yeah. But I've played hockey. I've done New Year's like marathon games.
Ice pond, like at night.
Ice pond hockey.
I've never done. That's
or
a bucket
at
list.
a rink. Yeah, I was never like great at it. I like it, but yeah. What about you?
What's hockey mean? Like when I think hockey, I think
national
Canada.
sport. Yeah, I think Canada.
It's like it was made here, right? Like it was invented.
I don't know if it was made here. Could have been like Norwegian or something.
No, I think it was made here out of like a tree root or something. I briefly did some history on it.
Maybe.
Anyway, but
ice hockey. I just have very fond memories of it. I love it. It was very much a part of my community growing up. Like our community has the world record for the longest hockey game ever played.
Oh, I saw that just recently.
Yeah,
that's in your community. I didn't know where it was from. But
yeah, at least for like a couple years ago, it was in our community.
I think it was the same one.
Yeah,
like
they do it every couple of years.
Yeah.
It's like
they did it this year, and they like broke their record of a couple of years ago. So it's probably the same place.
I don't. How long is it? It's like 3 days.
It was a while,
maybe a week. I don't know.
It was like I think it was over 100 hours, right?
Yeah.
Like I think it was like 3-4 days or something. I can't remember.
Oh my god.
It was a long time.
That's crazy.
But it's ingrained in the culture over here, though. I'd say like hockey is.
Yeah.
I have a photo. I went to look at paints and different colors of paints, and I thought it was so cool because I'm a hockey fan. I have been but before moving to Canada. But next to like all the paint samples, there's a chart, and it has all the hockey teams, and it has what their team colors are in reference to the sample sizes, in case you want to like paint a man cave or a den.
Right.
So you could get the exact. It had like the numbers. Like the Washington Capitals was like navy blue X15. It was just. I just thought that was so Canadian, and so like.
It is.
Yeah, you just don't. And like we have sport, but I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Oh really?
No, like I don't think I've ever seen.
I thought rugby was huge.
It's huge, but like I feel like we have.
What's your sport?
My rugby league. I'm picking league. I played league, rugby union. They're different sports, but they can be talked about kind of in the same sentence, if that makes sense. The differences aren't huge.
What are they?
Well, like they both involve. Rugby league is 13 men on the field. Rugby union's 15. Rugby league, you have a certain amount of tackles to get a score, or you have to kick it away. Or hand it over.
Yeah.
Rugby union doesn't have that. Rugby union, you can just tackle, get made, tackle, get made, tackle, get made. And if there's a turnover, that's when it happens. But if you don't get a turnover, you can just keep trudging forward.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's different. It requires different skill sets.
I like rugby. Here we have the CFL, so the Canadian Football League, which is different than it's non-contact, I believe.
No, that's
America.
false.
It is contact?
It's contact. It's just the rules are a little bit different to NFL.
Yeah, I think NFL's a little bit faster paced. I'm not.
There's just like certain. There's a bigger end zone in the CFL.
Right.
They play like it's more of a math problem than a rule thing.
I see. Anyway, I like rugby though. Like the pace of rugby, I prefer.
Rugby's fun, man. Like rugby, you really got to appreciate like I guess the cardio when you think about like even the CFL, that offense goes off the field and then another team comes on, their defense. Totally. Rugby, you do both. Like rugby, you make a tackle. If you turn the ball over, you don't go off the field and have a break. You stay on the field and you keep playing.
Yeah.
So like CFL and the NFL is, I guess, you get more breaks. So rugby's tougher. Like cardio-wise, you have to be able to run and spin and be fast and catch the ball, but you also have to be able to tackle and take hits and be tough.
Yeah, totally.
So it's
more brain damage.
But that being said, hockey's not too different, right?
No, I mean it's not a walk in the park either.
No,
there's a lot of there's fighting, fist fighting, like it's pretty intense.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I had to face them off, I mean, just for my case, I think ice hockey more iconic of the two.
Yeah,
hard
no,
to
definitely.
say though. I mean, like rugby's huge.
Well, see, this is where if I chose rugby union, I would probably have a case because rugby union's far more of a world sport. I would say.
Right.
It's played probably more around the world than rugby league.
Mm-hmm.
Rugby league is an offshoot of union.
Okay.
So that's split in like the 19 something or early 19th, whatever. But rugby league is probably way more linear to like Commonwealth, like England, Australia, New Zealand. Like those are the big rugby league nations.
Right.
Rugby union's a bit more broad.
You guys stay tight then.
Yeah. It's definitely not as popular. And
Okay.
honestly, it's a it's a smaller league. Like NHL is, for what it's worth, it's the fourth smallest North American league, but it would be 10 to 15 times bigger than rugby league. The salaries are way different. Like
Right.
The best player in rugby league would be making maybe $1 million a season, maybe. The best NHL player, a rookie NHL player,
Yeah.
rookie contract between 700 to 900,000. So you know what I mean? So like, there's about $100,000 difference between the best and the worst player in each league. Like it's a huge disparity.
Totally
Huge.
Okay. So my vote is ice hockey.
My vote's ice hockey too.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's a tie then.
Well,
2 for 2.
2 for 2.
Crocodile Bob Hawk and Jim Carrey in ice hockey.
And
so the final category.
It's just Australia versus Canada.
Just the overall.
In totality.
This is it.
Just gloves off.
Gloves off, bitch.
All right. Well, what's your... Obviously, I live in Canada, so I have some experience.
To Australia.
What's your experience?
I would love to go to Australia. Australia, to me, is fascinating because it exists. It is a continent that has developed on its own. Like, Africa and Europe are in contact. Asia and Europe are in contact. The Middle East, there's most of the world. The tectonic plates are still in contact. Then you have like North America, which is touching South America. So
right,
there's a bit of, even
trade routes.
North and South America are like pretty far apart. Technically speaking, it's like it shares a lot of species. Australia developed its own branches of life. Like we got
some weird animals that
you got the platypus, yet nowhere else.
Yeah, echidna.
Yeah, platypus.
Yeah, like we got weird.
Yeah,
animals.
Yeah, beautiful place. What's that bird called? It's like a velociraptor, not a cassowary.
Oh, yeah, those big angry fuckers. Yeah,
and they got like
it's like half ostrich, half like dinosaur.
Yeah, it looks. It's got like the hook claw.
Yeah,
that's what velociraptors used to have, man.
Yeah, well, they're birds, right? Velociraptor, like they're raptors. Are
they're
birds.
early. They're like
birds.
proto birds.
Yeah, they're
proto birds.
They have feathers.
They don't fly.
No, they have feathers though. Penguins don't fly. They're still a bird.
No, but velociraptors are not birds.
Velociraptors are birds. Yeah.
No, they're not. They're dinosaurs. They're
birds, yeah.
Early birds. They don't fly.
No, but a bird's penguin, dodo.
No.
These are all
a dinosaur is not a bear. Velociraptor is not. I mean, not a bird. A bird. It's not a bird.
You
are 100% incorrect, sir.
Google is Velociraptor a bird.
Okay,
live on air. Is Velociraptor a bird?
Is Velociraptor a bird? Okay, I'm gonna type it in.
Type it in.
Sorry.
Type it in.
Sorry,
bear with us, folks. This one's gonna be sweet. This one's gonna be sweet realization.
Dead air. Okay.
No, sorry, I'm just looking at his face when he's. I want to see when he knows that he's dead.
Velociraptors were actually feathered animals. What does that mean?
What does that mean, Jasper?
Technically, paleontologists define raptors or dromaeosaurs or as theropod dinosaurs that share certain obscure anatomical characteristics.
So
in any case, there's no question that raptors are closely related to modern birds. In fact, the word raptor is also used to describe big-taloned birds, but it's not the same thing. I added that last part.
You added the last part because
it was
nearly.
They said it's related.
Directly related to a bird. Come on.
That's what I said. I said they're related to birds. Was that not exactly what I said?
You're like, they're not a bird.
It's on the record. Anyway, so cassowaries are sick.
So
whatever.
we both think that we won that?
No,
All right.
I think Canada...
No. The bird thing. You're like, yeah, see, I was right. But anyway, let's move on.
We basically... Anyway.
So how did we get on Velociraptors being a bird, by the way?
Oh, because you got cassowaries, which are cool.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah,
Canada,
those are cool.
I love Canada.
I love Canada
I think
too, man.
Canada, it's a little bit more diverse, I guess, across it. Maybe.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different areas.
No, I know what you mean. Like, you have, like, the French connection. You have, like... But you also have a close relationship with America. Like...
Yeah. We have the mountains, then the East Coast.
Yeah. We don't have that. We have... I guess the... like
it's pretty uniform.
Yeah, it's pretty uniform.
Yeah.
It's not great. I obviously don't miss it that much, to be honest. The heat. I love the weather here better.
Really?
Yeah. It's hot. There's not really months.
It's more depressing here.
Yeah.
In Vancouver,
well, for
anyway.
some.
Yeah.
But, like, I
You're
don't
vitamin D.
like being hot and sweaty. And I didn't...
That's totally valid.
Didn't have a winter for, like, 6-7 years. Just didn't go... Like, I traveled, I moved around a lot, but just so happened that I just lived kind of in the north regions for a while, and I just didn't get a break. I didn't get a break from heat.
Fair.
And I was like, I'm so over it. I moved here and I love it. I love the weather. I know I should be advocating for Australia, but...
I'm not saying one way or the other. I think Canada's a great place. I think it's
great,
a worthy
man.
contender.
I think it's great.
You guys had some really intense wildfires. I mean, we do too, but not like what Australia had.
I just think Canada's more beautiful too. I like the landscape here better. The trees, like that drive to Whistler, like
not a bad drive.
Not a bad drive.
Sea to Sky Highway is a.
I don't know if there's many drives. I don't think there's any drives I've done in Australia that make me like,
Really.
I'm sure there's beaches, but. It's like if you're not a beach guy,
it's pretty flat, right?
Yeah, like there's ranges again, but it's pretty flat. Yeah, dude, Australia's good. I'd say everyone should go there. It's a great place to visit.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
like go on like a 2-3 week holiday. Like you can have a lot of fun there. I truly think it's only there because I was there for so long.
Yeah,
I'm always a guy that kind of likes once I've done everything, tick it off, like move on to the next thing, sort of thing. So. I think it just came to my time.
Ticked it off. Yeah.
I think I literally lived in like 5 of the 7 states. So like I lived around.
So I
moved
what it's
around.
About. Yeah.
There's nothing no one can tell me about Australia that I haven't experienced. I've like traveled all over. Like
cool.
I think I ticked it off. So Canada, man.
Okay, there we go. Boom.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, there we go.
That's it.
What do you say? That's a list. That's a competition. Crocodile won. Bob Hawke. So you got 2.
Then I lost 3 in a row.
Yeah, Jim Carrey, ice hockey in Canada, representing.
Yeah.
I don't think you lost. It just
I mean both. I mean, we're naming probably 2 of the top 5 countries in the world.
Yeah.
No, but you know what I mean. Like, I'd say that's 2 of the top 10 countries in the world. If you ask most people, not even from livability, I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah,
that might be true.
like I think those 2 countries would come up a lot.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well,
so let's do the 2 worst country. No, I'm kidding. We're not going to do that.
I think
it's Syria.
I think let's wrap it up. Syria. It is Syria.
Yeah, it's Syria. Yeah. It's Syria. Yeah, let's wrap it up.
All
let's
right.
Go.
Well, all right. Goodbye.
See ya.